Hello, Scorpios, the Scorpochinos. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Okay, if you're another sign and you happen to be in Scorpios, you have to leave right now, okay? You have to mute it because I have a little talk with them. I don't want anyone else to hear. They'll get upset. So I sat down. I don't know why. It's just been a week, man. It's just been like a week. Anyone else having that? It's just like a week. And it just feels like, too, like that we're going to do the Dark Mirror. The Dark Mirror Oracle deck. We've been doing it all week. This is the last day. They've been tough. The energy in this is really heavy. I'm getting through it. So I sat down and I picked out the Scorpio card and I said, oh, fuck. Thank God, my favorite sign. I did it. I know, I always tell you guys, I tell all the signs out, but you know what, I really, and I started pulling out your cards. I was like, you do not disappoint, Scorpio. You do not disappoint. That's why I love you so much, okay? So, we're looking at your current energy and your future energy. And in the current energy, I'm asking, what have you been working on? What have you been healing? What is starting to blossom? In the future energy, what will you finish working on? What will be healed and what will be ready to harvest? I'm just going to say right now, the major theme in this reading is defining self-identity, I think, okay? But it's not that simple. Like it's a little bit complicated. Isn't everything? Isn't life in itself can be kind of complicated and nuanced. So you also, this is not a big deck. Like this is how thick this deck is compared to, I don't know, any other Oracle deck here, right? It's pretty dramatic how small this deck is. So we get a lot of repeats in this deck. There are two cards that have not come out all week. And you got them. So I was like, thank you again. Thank you again, Scorpio, because this is, right, it's different energy. So I like it. And this is the first card. It was like, Scorpio does not disappoint me. This is what you've been working on. Fated to suffer. Just like, oh, Scorpio, my dear Scorpios. That's what you've been working on. This card is so fascinating. Okay, it talks about two main themes here. Obviously, fate and suffering. It talks about two main themes here. And what it does talk about is that, yeah, suffering is inevitable in life and throughout life, whether that is, you know, you get sick once in a while, or you go through something that is emotionally difficult, or, you know, all sorts of things. It could be food or shelter depravity. Like, there's a lot of different things that we can encounter that are suffering in this 3D experience. You can't avoid that. But this card, it actually says, but does fate really exist? So if you've been suffering, are you truly fated? Like, but that's what you're working on here. Maybe you are, like maybe there's even like a south and a north node kind of relevance to the reading for you. Maybe some of you are coming here with a south or a north node in Scorpio too. But if it feels like the first part of your life, you've just been fated to suffer, it doesn't have to be that way. There will be suffering, but you don't have to be fated to experience that. What is this? Where is it here? Fated to suffer. Okay, feeling confined into a script, forced by other, and never really fought. I don't know what that means. Sometimes the translation seems weird to me. Heading toward a destination of pain. If you know the future, you forsake your choices. Right? Only with no fate, life is free to unfold into unknown shores. How fucking fascinating. I feel like this is the most fascinating card in the deck. And it's taken all week to get here for you to pull that energy out, right? What you've been working on. Is the future truly something that is set in stone? How much control do you have over it? Because with no fate, life is free to unfold into unknown shores. Are you truly seeing Snow White in the card? Is this story truly the only one that this image can tell? What if the apple is not poisoned? What if the witch is not evil? Is that the same at which you look in your life? Is it truly what you think it is? Are there not any other options? Is the opinion of others honestly better than ours, even if they are many and we are only one? Are you fated to suffer? It is not that there is no suffering in the world. The point is that there is no fate. Now, this is what you've been working on. I don't know if these are like thoughts that you have. They're pretty deep. I love this. Are you, yeah, right? Like, can you suddenly make different decisions and choices and change the course of your life? You've been working through this. Maybe you feel like this could also be someone who maybe you live in a family where, you know, you could have a parent and grandparents that have had a career base, right? And it's kind of expected, or maybe it's not expected, but you know what? We have a lot of connections, networking, because we have ancestral history in this field of work. And we can get you into the best school, and I can get you a job, or your uncle can get you a job, and you'll be, right? And that's kind of like, well, they're just like, that's how it goes. And you could even make those choices, right? And then end up in that life. And this is it. This is just my fate. This is what I'm supposed to do. But I feel like when we're stuck feeling like this is just fate and this is just what I'm supposed to do, that's that right there. That's that man or woman in their suit with the briefcase walking in and out of that building every day. And then one day they just fucking stop. And they're like, they strip it all down to their underwear and their bare feet. And they throw the briefcase in the air and like, I'm out of here, baby. And I'm going to, like, right? Like, and how much are things truly fated within the man-made world? Mankind, like everything that we're living in right now is pretty much made by man. And the last time I checked, man was really fucked up. Just like has a lot of problems, has a lot of mental and emotional issues, has a lot of growing and development to do. Even like the most advanced of people are not godlike. They're not godlike, and they can't create a system that is imperfectly perfect like what Earth is, Earth in itself, in its natural state. I feel like when you go in that, you might be working through fate naturally, right? But I really like that. I really like that. Maybe I'm a little slow. It's a decaf. I'm drinking a decaf. Oh. I didn't get it finished this morning. I was busy making myself a Greek salad because I'm going to start to be, I'm eating healthier. What have you been healing? Atonement. This card, this is, you know, sometimes we fix things. Or you just want something to be fixed. Libra had a lot of this. Libra had a lot of this in their message yesterday. I can't remember if it was mostly in the first part or the extended part, but they had a lot of the atonement thing. I'm sure it was them. Was it? Yeah, I think it was. Anyways, it was somebody yesterday. And the best way that I got to describe this, and I'm going to do it for you too, is let's say you're in a boat and you're with someone else in this boat, and maybe it was connected to a big ship and the ship sunk, and you're just, you know, it's not the most comfortable situation to be in, but you're surviving in it. And you are in some type of, like a Gulf Stream or something like that, right? So the boat is moving, and you know eventually it will take you to some land somewhere. You just got to survive this. Well, all of a sudden, 2 holes develop in the boat, and you do happen to have 2 cups, and there's 2 of you, and you can remove the water at the same pace that the water is coming into the boat. So you're both. And maybe somebody needs to sleep once in a while. So the other person, okay, you take a nap. I'll do 2 cups. I'll do 2 cups at a time. But it's like at some point, the other person just decides, I can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. I'm tired, Scorpio. I'm done. I could see that happening. I swear to goodness, Scorpio has the most energy of any sign I've ever encountered. And that is coming from an Aries Gemini. I have a lot of energy, although it's going down as I get older. But even Scorpios, when they get older, their energy is still pretty fucking high. It's impressive. So you're going to outlast whoever else is in the boat with you. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Okay? And this is what you've been healing, though. So maybe that's even understanding. Like, you know what? Some people just have more oomph than other people, and this is how it's going to be for me. Because the other person just can't do it anymore. So now you're like, well, if we're not doing 2 cups at a time, the boat is going to fill up with water. And the boat is going to take us to shore. So yeah, now you're doing 2 cups at a time. So you are now kind of keeping it afloat, or you're taking on more responsibility for something that has gone wrong than maybe you should take. Whatever's gone wrong may not be your fault. It may not be the fault of the other person in the boat, but it went wrong. So now you're 2 cupping it. And the other person's just like, I can't anymore. I'm done. Scorpio, I'm done. I can't. No, that's it. And okay, so then the boat finally gets to shore. You're fucking exhausted. And this person's like, oh my God, we made it. Isn't this wonderful? Let's go exploring. Now I'm fucking tired. So that's my atonement. The atonement story. Because shit's going to happen. Things will go wrong. Maybe something went wrong in a relationship, or something went wrong in a situation that you were in. You know, maybe some of it was your own doing. Maybe you wore high heels into this boat. So you accidentally, you're not necessarily pushed out a little knot in the wood, but you know, you loosened it a bit. And you know, shit happens, and maybe the other person leaned their elbow in a knot. You don't know, right? It's not really so much the atonement, what's been healing here. It's not so much a fair square kind of thing, which is also funny because this is your underlying. This has been going around a lot. This come out for everybody. I'm pretty sure this card has come out for everybody this week, I think. It's either been underlying or in the spread. So you've gone past this point where you recognize that the world is not fair and fuck off, world. Had it with you. That's literally this card. That the world is not fair. Things are not fair. That's sometimes how it's going to be. And the atonement really speaks of that, doesn't it? Because if the other person stops bailing the water in the boat, you're both going to sink. And you're like, well, I don't want to fucking sink. So I'm going to keep bailing here. But you're putting in more effort, but even though you and someone else might be getting to the same destination. Scorpio, I don't know. It just feels like looking at this, that's been maybe a big part of life for you, because these also feel like really big things in terms of working and healing. Like this is not just this week, I'm going to do that. Like I feel like it's a really big heal. And then sometimes you got to you're taking it in the back, man. Is it almost like your shoulders are broader, your shoulders are stronger? Now, this little part, what's starting to blossom? Obsession. You know I want to put tarot on that. You know I want to do Scorpio. Your obsession is blossoming. I don't know what that means. I have no idea. We'll get into it later. You don't fail to like be my favorite sign again into the future. What will you finish working on? Oh yeah, all the really dark shit. Envious gluttony. Anything envious. Really? And it could be the other person in the fucking boat. It must be so nice just to sit in that fucking boat and have someone else bail it for you. It could be. Like that could be the form of envy, right? Because, and if it feels like in your life you just fated to suffer. Like maybe there's areas of your life it's like it doesn't matter how hard I plan or how much effort I put into something. Yeah. It's just... I kind of like, I don't know, a few years ago, I just decided, you know what? I don't know. What's the point of making a plan? Because God never seems to have the same plan as me. So I kind of get this. It's like, you know, it's just whatever. Yeah. I'm more of a whatever. You seem to be a little bit more intellectual about it, but perhaps or not. But yeah, like there could be areas of your life where it's just like, yeah, it doesn't work out. And everybody else it does. And you're the one bailing the most. Right? Yeah. And what? And this isn't even in the spread, recognizing that the world is not fair. Fuck off, world. Fuck off. You're past that point. You're past that point. So I want to say too, because now this is going to be healed, or you're going to finish working on envious gluttony. I really do feel like, based on the cards that you have in the current, that this has something to do with people. Okay, let's go back to the boat scenario. And I will say this about Scorpio too, generally speaking, and maybe I haven't met enough of you, but I've met quite a few. And I've even met some toxic ones. And even the toxic ones are highly energetic and can really get a lot done in a day. Taking it back to the boat situation, it's almost like you're just recognizing that there are people, right? Because if you and this other person in the boat, you end up at the same landing point, but you had to put in so much effort to get there. And this person just kind of rode the wave, right? That, I'm not going to lie, at some points you are probably going to feel envious, and there could be people around you where it's like, this person is clueless, this person, or whatever. That just sounds judgmental. Maybe I should have had a caffeine coffee today, but I don't know. I feel like you're finished working on that. So I think there's been a lot of thinking that, and I'm wondering, maybe the obsession is even like trying to understand your own fate or how much control you have over that. Okay, what will be healed? The colorless angel. That's a really interesting card. The colorless angel is, right? I mean, it's an angel. It's someone who's fallen from heaven into this dark world, because look at the world is all dark. But it's, the angel's quote is, "It is better to not feel than to feel pain." So maybe there's a lot of pain here that you've been through, and to some degree here, you've needed to numb this pain. I wonder, maybe you've numbed it through some obsession here. Because the blossoming obsession could even be like kind of coming out of an obsession. I don't know. We'll see. It could be like obsessed with like if somebody is obsessed with hitting like a certain goal in an area of their life, right? I'm going to do that. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Like if you think about like some athletes, professional athletes, or people getting ready for the Olympics and things like that is their life. They are up at 4 a.m., 3 a.m., whatever a.m. They're up early. And a lot of them like either have school or work during the day, but they get up early so that they can still get 3 hours of training in the morning. And then after work, they'll still go, they'll have no like outside life. They go back to training in the late afternoon and early evening, right? Like that's an obsession. But a lot of times those people, they accomplish pretty big goals. So I don't know what that could be, but this is, yeah. So maybe you're going to start to feel a little bit more than you've allowed yourself to feel for that to be healed. Oh, okay. What will be ready to harvest? So this is such an interesting card. Forgetting oneself. So it actually doesn't really talk about, like when you go into the book with this card, it doesn't really talk about that you're forgetting who you are. It's kind of realizing that you forgot who you are and coming back around to recapturing and reclaiming the true essence of who you are. So if that's harvesting, I feel like there's a knowing about yourself here. And maybe there's been a lot of situations and circumstances throughout your life that have made it feel like you have to work 2 or 3 times as hard to get to the same place as someone else who doesn't have to. And so, yeah, you're going to harvest yourself to some degree. Reclamation of yourself. Okay, I really want the tarot. First, I want to know the obsession. And it's actually not too many that I feel like I need to pull the tarot. But the obsession, what are you obsessing over? What is this obsession? Or maybe you're going to start to have an obsession because it'll be blossoming. Oh, the Queen of Cups. That's nice. You're obsessing love? The obsession of love. God, that's absolutely beautiful. Oh, I mean, being cups, being water, right, Scorps? Okay, so let's go to the colorless angel. It is better to not feel it all than to feel pain. That'll be healed. Wow, the Two of Cups. Is it to feel pain with another? Is it to feel pain with another? Because then you could be alone in emptiness, or you could be united in grief. know. What is the Two of Cups? What is that feeling? The Page of Wands. Oh, the Ace of Cups. Oh, the Ace of Wands. That might be good to feel. That might feel pretty good. Yeah. Oh. If there's been issues here for you with reciprocation, and I don't know, I mean, it could just be emotional aspects of relationships, but it's just the effort too in the boat. The whole thing is in the boat, and the other person like, I can't do it anymore. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I feel like if there's been a stunt in you expanding or being open with your own feelings with other people, you're not going to choose not to feel anymore. And maybe it's almost like just this card, it feels kind of, it is dark, but it just also feels just kind of blank. Well, even the artist has done a pretty good job here of capturing kind of a meh in this fallen angels or colorless angels expression. This is feeling great. This is feeling alive. This is feeling invigorated. This is feeling hopeful. This is feeling happy and excited, like this Ace of Cups and the Ace of Wands. Envious gluttony. What will you finish working on? Envious gluttony. The Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. The Six of Wands. The Eight of Cups and the Six of Wands with envious gluttony. Is it your envy? Because walking away from stuff, why would envy? Maybe people have, no, but you seem, it's almost like you've walked away from emotions. Have you? Maybe this is someone, I don't know now. Because this is, it looks like here that there's something where someone is envious of another being able to walk away from their emotions, to be able to walk away from some type of emotional investment here. Maybe this is people envious towards you because you're kind of showing up to me as the one who's walked away from certain feelings here. The thing that's starting to blossom though is love, an obsession of love. The obsession of love is starting to blossom. I would say love is probably the best obsession to have. Like true, clean, pure, lovely love with the Queen of Cups. Forgetting oneself, you will harvest this. Wow, the Moon, the Page of Swords, and the Two of Pentacles. It feels like you're reincorporating a part of yourself that you left behind here. Maybe in some type of journey, dark night of the soul. You're reincorporating something. A psychic part of you. Illusions, fears. But it feels like a reincorporation with the Two of Pentacles. Fated to suffer. What have you been working on? Oh man, the Sun. Tell me more about the Sun. Oh, the King of Cups and the Hanged Man. There you are, Scorpio, the King of Cups. The Hanged Man with Pisces energy. Leo, Scorpio, and Pisces. Interesting energy here. But the Sun is our actualization. So self-actualization of self. Forgetting oneself. I'm feeling like a deep kind of esoteric energy in your reading here. Suffering is how you, it's almost like through suffering here, you, I mean, probably that plutonic energy, like there's something of you that's broken down. Even if I think of an apple, right? An apple to me is the perfect symbol of plutonic energy. Like it slowly grows and ripens on the tree. There's something beautiful has grown there, and then it falls down, and then it starts to decompose and break down into all of its basic parts and components, and it may not grow into an apple again. There could be another tree nearby, and there's a little pine cone seed that's in that, and all that nutrients is going to feed that pine cone seed, and something completely new will grow out of the ground. There's parts of yourself here that are almost like mystery, especially with King of Cups and the Hanged Man. Is it suffering? Or is it atonement? So let's look at the atonement. What have you been healing? Atonement. The Eight of Swords. There's so many swords. Eight of Swords. Knight of Swords. Atonement. Look at that. That's what you've been healing. Look at all of that. The mind. Healing the mind. Healing the mind around what you know and don't know. Healing your mind. Freeing your mind. Not allowing the other person in the boat to stop you. Why do you want to tell the world to go fuck itself? Stupid world is not fair. Black flower fragrance. The Star. That feels like fate. Jeez. Fate. There's something you're going to here that I do feel is fated. It's fated. It does feel fated. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I think the book is fascinating. And it's kind of philosophical, no? I do believe that there's fate and destiny. I do think at some points we end up on a fated path. And the choices we make on that path become the destiny that we carve for ourselves. But not every single instance of life is fate. But I think some are. So you might be on one here. 10. King of Pentacles. Page of Cups. Two of Wands. 10 of Cups. Two of Swords. Justice and the Queen of Wands. It's a long story. There's making different choices here. Almost it feels like it goes from making choices that center around the ideas and goals that we should have for ourselves based on, you know, like what's kind of been built up in the world, what society says is what we should do here. And then almost feeling like you find the happiness, but you're not sure if that's truly your happiness. I don't know, because then we get Justice with the Queen of Wands, and that's a very independent energy. But it does kind of feel like this, feels a little bit like the story of the self, of finding the self, of carving out the self. So I'm going to go do the extended, Scorpio. In extended, because I'm looking at the current and the future energies here. I'm going to look at the in-between. In the extended, I'm going to ask personal challenge in the in-between energy, distraction to be aware of, an area to focus on to like get you towards this, to help you get towards this future energy. That's what I have for you so much. Thank you so much, Scorpio. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Bye.